Hello, so today I'm sharing with you my favorite blush, bronzer, highlighter, and brush discoveries of 2020. I discovered a lot of fantastic products in 2020. I was very selective in all of my Best of Beauty 2020 yearly roundup videos, so you may not see something that I've talked about liking before. I still like those products. I just wanted to keep these really short and concise and show you the best of the best. So I tried to keep each product category to about 3 to 4 products. This video varies that a little bit and you'll see more as I go through. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you enjoy everyday beauty made easy, I'd love it if you'd consider subscribing before the end of this video. All right, let's go ahead and get into these products that I have been loving in 2020. This is the 4th video that I've filmed today. It has progressively gotten darker and darker behind me. I don't know what's going on with the weather, but it's only 2 o'clock, so I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'm gonna start with bronzers, and I do have 3 bronzers in this video. I'll start with a cream formulation that surprised me. I don't know what I was expecting, but I didn't expect to like this one this much. This is the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer. I have the shade Seychelles, and I've been perfectly happy with this shade for my light, medium, warm, neutral skin tone. Now, there were several cream bronzers that came out this year, and this one is the one that I liked the most. It not only blends out easily on the skin and it's just not a struggle to work with at all, but it also lasts a long time too. So I've been really impressed. I like the packaging too. Tarte's been doing some new things lately, and yeah, this has been living on my vanity for a reason. It's just super easy to work with on a daily basis. Love it. I also have a stick formula that made the cut. This is the Milk Makeup Stick Bronzer in the shade Baked. This is a little bit deeper than Tarte Seychelles. I like having a stick option just for the versatility. Sometimes I do like to take it directly on my face and then blend it out with a brush. Other times I like to take my brush in it and then blend out that brush on my face. But this gives me that versatility. Again, it's super easy to work with. It lasts a long time on the skin. I mean, Milk Makeup is known for their stick products and, you know, things like that, and this is just a really great bronzer, and I'm glad I discovered it in 2020. I have one powder bronzer for this video. I know that's shocking because I feel like I tried quite a few bronzers in 2020 and I did like quite a few, and I still do, but this one is the one that really stands out to me the most. It's the one that I've just consistently been using the most over the other bronzers that I liked and discovered in 2020, and there's a reason for that. And I know you guys may ask me about some of those bronzers, and that's fine, and I mean, I may even answer some of those questions here while I go through it. This is the Gucci bronzer. I have the shade 3. Again, I find this to be a great shade for my light, medium, warm, neutral skin tone. I know some people with my skin tone went with shade 2. The reason why I didn't go with shade 2 is because I did go with shade 2 in Charlotte Tilbury, and I know clearly the shades are going to be different from brand to brand, but shade 3 was too deep in this brand, and shade 2 I find I have to spend more time building. I mean, I do like the formula. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I just wish I didn't have to take so much time building it, and I know if I went a darker shade, it would be too dark for me, so I just kind of wish there was like a 2.5 shade in this. Aside from that, I think the formula is great. So if you have a different skin tone than I do, this probably would have made the cut for you. It probably would have made the cut for me if I had a different shade or if a different shade were available to me. So this is the perfect formulation for me. It's super easy to apply. You don't have to tap off any excess before you tap your brush to your face. It's that perfect in-between shade. It's not too dark, it's not too light, it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's got a sheen to it, but it's a natural, beautiful, radiant sheen. It just makes your skin look healthy. I love this bronzer. I love the packaging. It's luxurious. I mean, it is a little bulky because there is a brush down in here, you know, which I will never use. It's still in the plastic, but I don't really mind it being a little bit bulky because it is so pretty. I mean, this is a showpiece. It lives on my vanity. I think this formulation is stunning, and I thought it was all hype at first. I didn't even jump on this right away because I just thought, I'm sure it's not as good as everyone is saying, but it actually is. I know this is kind of a random video with brushes in here, but I just didn't have another video where brushes fit in, and I figured why not put them in here? And so so this brush that I'm going to talk about first is actually one that is for blush and highlight, so it kind of fits in this video. This is the Persona blush and highlight brush that I just love. It's super soft, and I like a small blush brush sometimes because you can put it exactly where you want it. The highlight picks up just the right amount. This is just a really great little product that they launched this year, and I love it. It's super handy because it's double-ended, multitasking. I mean, you can use this for powder under the eyes. It's just a great little brush. The Fenty Face Shaping 125 brush is a standout brush for me. This is what I blend out my cream and stick bronzer with pretty much all the time. It's soft yet dense enough to where it blends everything out exactly the way it needs to be blended, yet it doesn't blend away my foundation either, and that's very important. It's got a contour to it if you want to do a little contour. It's just the perfect face shaping brush. I love this to death for bronzer, even contour if you're doing cream contour. My go-to brush for cream blush, that rhymed, is the BK Beauty 106 brush. I've talked about this several times, and this is the brush you see me use all the time. This is the one brush that I use for my cream and liquid blushes. It's perfectly sized, it's the perfect density, it's the perfect softness. I mean, this is actually made for foundation, I think. That's what it was created for, but I don't care. I love it for cream blush. I have 3 eye brushes that I discovered in 2020 that I use pretty much every day. Well, depending on the eye looks that I use. So if I'm doing cream eyeshadow, the BK Beauty 203 is the brush that I use to blend out that cream eyeshadow in the crease, and sometimes I'll even take it under the lash line a little bit. It's just, again, the perfect softness, the perfect density. It's the perfect size for my eye shape. Pretty much anytime you see me using a stick or a cream or a liquid eyeshadow, this is the brush that I'm using to blend it out in the crease. And I have 2 brushes from Sonia G that I use all the time. So we have the Sonia G Smudger 2 brush, which is basically what I use to line my eyes because I can get right at the root of the lashes and then just blend it out. I can do a wing, I can build it up, I can keep it localized, but it smudges everything beautifully yet keeps it defined at the same time. There's a Smudger 1 as well, but I really like the Smudger 2, and I think it is also black like the Smudger 1 is. And I do have the Smudger 1, but there's something about the Smudger 2 that I absolutely love, and I just use this one more often. The second Sonia G brush that I use when I'm doing eye looks like I did today, where I'm actually, blending a few shadows, is the Pencil 2 brush. This is a dome shape that's really dense yet soft. I mean, there's a theme here, right? But this has enough density yet allows you to target exactly where you want the placement of your shadows. It's really great for if you want to smudge out your lash line, if you want to blend out something right in your outer third, if you want to take something in the crease. It's a great multitasking brush. It's also great for the lower lash line. So if you're wanting to kind of streamline your brushes a little bit and you want one that's going to do multiple things, this is a really great one, and it just does the job perfectly because it doesn't over blend and make things all muddy. It's a really, really handy brush. I mean, Sonia G is just her brushes are perfect anyway, but I particularly love those 2. All right, moving on to blushes. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the 2 blushes that were in my top 10 drugstore purchases of 2020 video, which I will have linked in the description box. If you're on mobile, hit the title below the video. If you are on desktop, look below that title and you'll see the words show more. Just click those and then you'll get the description box, and everything I'm talking about will be linked for you along with relevant videos and everything I'm wearing. So I talked about this Found Illuminating Blush in the shade Pink Glow. I definitely need this in more shades because some of you have it and you said there were a couple of really pretty shades. With the marbling, this is very reminiscent of Hourglass blushes. Someone in my comment section said Laura Geller. The formula is stunning. It's just got this sheen to it that's really flattering. It's kind of like a blush and a highlight in one. This is a really flattering pink shade. I didn't have anything like this in my blush wardrobe, and so I picked this up and I'm so glad I did because it's just really stunning on, and the sheen is flattering. It's not going to pick up anything that you don't want it to. Such a great discovery in 2020. I also talked about these e.l.f. bite-size face duos with the blush and the highlighter in them. I'm just holding one up right now. I actually have all of the shades of these and I'll put them in the top corner. I use them all. I think they're great. I use them, as one. I'll mix and match highlighters and blushes from each palette, or I'll use the highlighter highlighter with a blush I own from another brand. I just think these are so great and convenient and super, super tiny, so they're easy to throw in a bag and carry with you. These were a great launch from e.l.f. I think the formula is great. I mean, for $3, I just am really glad that I tried these and discovered these. I think they're a great buy and a great discovery in 2020. I actually have 5 blushes in this video because I don't have a highlighter. So I figured I could put one extra blush in this video since I'm not taking up the time with a highlighter. I just didn't discover a brand new highlighter in 2020 that blew my socks off. I don't know. I guess I just kept using my existing highlighters. If you have a highlighter that you're loving that you discovered in 2020, let me know if I'm completely missing out, but I didn't discover anything new, anything groundbreaking for highlighters in 2020. But what I did discover are these blushes from Persona, these super blush that have really nice ingredients in them. They're supposed to be very flattering, especially if you have aging skin. This is the shade Georgia, which, you know, is reminiscent of a Georgia peach. There's also a rosier toned shade that I don't have in here near me, but this is the shade that I wanted to point out because this is the one that I gravitate towards the most. These are supposed to be pore minimizing while giving a matte yet luminous finish, and I feel like they do that. They're really flattering on the skin. They kind of just give you that radiant from within look. I feel like they kind of flew under the radar, but they definitely need to be given a shout out. I think these are some of the best blush formulations out there. Very similar to the Persona eyeshadow palettes. The eyeshadow formula is great too, and the blushes are no different. Just such a great discovery, a great launch in 2020. While I do have several shades in this next blush, I'm going to just focus on one because it's my favorite. I'll list my other ones that I have down below and that I enjoy, but this is the one that I reach for constantly on an everyday basis. This is the Daniel Sandler watercolor blush in the shade Caress. I just think this shade is so universally beautiful. It goes with anything. It kind of reminds me of the liquid version of my beloved Tom Ford Inhibition blush. I've showed you guys before how I will drop a couple of drops onto the back of my hand, and then I'll just take this brush and swirl it around until it's almost dry and then dab it onto my cheeks. And that's how I apply this. It's super easy. It never takes off my makeup underneath. I mean, I do it after I have powder on and it still applies beautifully, and it just gives a beautiful, radiant, healthy look to the skin. It's appropriate for any occasion and they wear all day long. I love these. I discovered these because of Shelby Wilson, and I am forever grateful to her because this is just fantastic. Super fantastic. Now this is a particular shade that I had to put in here. This is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in the shade Always Peachy. I just really love this shade, and I find myself reaching for it a lot in the spring and summer, and I discovered it this year. I don't know how long this has been out. I mean, it could have been out since 2018 for all I know, but I discovered it in 2020. It's such a great, not quite peach, not quite pink, not quite coral shade that goes with a lot of things, but it brightens up the face in such a beautiful way. And I do find, I guess because it's primer infused, that it lasts a long time on the skin. This is a great buy for the money. And I actually was trying so hard not to put 5 blushes in this video, but I had to put this shade in here in particular. This is the only shade I have in the e.l.f. Primer Infused blushes, but I mean, I reached for this so many times this year that I had to put it in this video. It was so good. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and catch my best lip products of 2020 and my best eye products of 2020. I have some great products in those. I'll have them linked here for you, and I'll have those and my other best of beauty products linked in the description box below. If you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. And if you want extra bonus content, hit that join button if you're on desktop, or hit the link in my description box if you're on mobile. And you can scroll through and see more information on joining the Stephanie Marie Circle. There's different levels, and we would love to have you join. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.